Chicks and ducks and geese better scurry when I take you out in the Surrey.
Oh, how I loved Uncle Eddie. He was an uncle with no children of his own, so that meant I had primary dibs on him. He was a grown-up playmate, and he knew me. He knew my favorite things, that I loved musical movies and Nancy Drew books and parakeets. He talked about interesting people and places and history and adventures. He was exotic. He was a grown-up who had kept some child in him. Where are we going today?
Edward will tell you after he discusses it with your mother and your father.
Then our camphor-scented grandmother would ask me to perform some personal service. Readjust the sweater on her shoulders, rehook the garter on her stocking, or,
Carrie, take a bite of this apple and give me the bite piece.
you see, with ill-fitting dentures, Gammy couldn't bite through apple skin, but she could shave meat from an apple bite. It was the 1950s. It was a time when a nickel bought you a candy bar or a creamsicle or a fountain Coke. And Uncle Eddie was our ticket to ride to all the adventures and historical sites all around New Jersey.
Watch that fringe and see how it flutters.
See,
when
Uncle
I
Eddie
drive
taught us how to get through the dangerous maze of life.
Always have change for a phone call. Never talk to strangers, except those in uniform. Always turn your putt and your panhandles in so you don't catch them and burn yourself. Never leave the house without checking twice that your gas stove is off. Always unplug your lights and appliances at night to prevent fire. You leave the Frigidaire plugged in because you have to. Never eat anything from a can that is puffy, botulism, death. Always cancel your milk, mail, and your newspaper deliveries before you go on vacation, and then nail your windows shut. Never overfill a whistling tea kettle. It can spit out steam and scald you. Never use a steam iron. It can explode and scald you. And never use a pressure cooker carelessly. It could blow up and scald you. Never leave your knives out on the kitchen or the kitchen counter or the table in plain sight. Anybody breaking in would have a weapon right there. Sure, Carrie, somebody could find something else to hurt you with. But what's more dangerous? A wooden spoon or a naked knife? Let me show you what to do. Take me a shirt cardboard folded, put the knife sharp side into the fold and cover the cardboard with masking tape. And now put it in the drawer. Don't put it in the drawer on top of the box of silverware. Don't put it in the drawer next to the box of silverware. Put it in the drawer and hide it under the box of silverware. Good girl. And always have a flashlight.
The wheels are yellow, the upholstery's brown, the dashboard's genuine leather with...
Other times we went to the site of the news events. You see, my father had talked about going to Lakehurst, New Jersey when he was a young man to see the debris from the fatal explosion of the Hindenburg dirigible. And Uncle Eddie wanted to give me a similar experience like that, to talk to my children about someday. So, when two planes collided midair over New York City about a week before Christmas and scattered their debris over Staten Island and Brooklyn, Uncle Eddie saw an opportunity. Did my parents or Uncle Eddie think what the effect a major airplane disaster, up close and personal, was going to have on a young person? At Christmas time, twisted metal from the fuselage, exploded suitcases, and a tattered wedding gown. Oh, I like the odometer rollover much better.
Two bright side lights a-winking and blinking.
Uncle Eddie talked elevators a lot.
The job of an elevator ride is to get you from the first floor to the top floor within a minute. Never worry that your cab's going to drop in a free fall down the shaft. Multiple braking systems keep you safe. In fact, it was Elisha Graves Otis who invented the safety braking systems that makes tall buildings and skyscrapers possible. Most important thing, before you get into an elevator, make sure the cab is there. Not everybody does. Door opens, I step right in and splat! Right down the bottom of the step. Hey kids, where are you going? Kids, you know the big buildings like the Pro, like the Empire State? They have nighttime cleaning staffs. Well, once upon a time, there was a building where the cleaning staff scrubbed the holes on the elevators every day with a cleaning solution that had just a little bit of acid in it. One day the floor dropped right out of the elevator cab. Everybody riding in it was killed.
Visions of bodies crushed at the bottom of the shaft, twisted on cables, pierced on gears, flashed through my mind. Uncle Eddie had told us elevator cabs were safe places. Like that trip to the airplane crash, son, the elevator story was an interesting one. Was it appropriate for a bunch of kids?
I can see the stars getting blurry.
But for years I fought Uncle Eddie's directive of
Always have a flashlight.
but since 9/11, I always have one on my keys. Don't you? And one in each bedroom, one in the kitchen, one in the bathrooms. Most run on batteries, but a few are wind up. When I was first married and living in New York, I would stay awake and fret all night until dawn, whenever my husband was out of town on business. Was I being spied on by a
City peeping Tom.
in my 11th floor apartment in a doorman building? Was I risking my life with a
Exposed knife rack.
in the kitchen in my 11th floor apartment in a doorman building? When my daughter was little, I made her wear safety goggles before I let her join the kids fishing off a community dock. I didn't want those kids casting fish hooks into her eyes, and it seemed like a sensible safety precaution to me. I didn't understand why the other parents didn't follow my lead, and they make fun of me to this day. I mean, think about it. Today's parents require their kids wear helmets on tricycles, for goodness sake. I ask you, are eye guards nuts?
Don't you hurry with the surrey with the fringe on the top. Don't you hurry with the surrey with the fringe